Okay folks, welcome back to The Long Dark. Yes, we're back in survival mode, we're by the dam. I've done a bit of housekeeping since you last joined me. I have a nice little fire going, which is about to go out actually, to be fair. And I have cooked my wolf meat. You can see I've eaten some of it. I've got that risk of intestinal parasites that we mentioned before. 14%, that's okay, I'm happy with that. I've eaten some of that meat. I've got a couple of pieces of it left, which I'm going to carry with me. I'm just under my carrying threshold, so I'm actually going to get going. We're heading towards, well, we're just past midday, so I think we've actually got plenty of time to get back to camp office. The fire's gone, so let's get ourselves moving. I don't think it's cold anyway. No, we're above freezing anyway with the clothes we're wearing, so we don't have to worry too much. But yeah, we're going to make our way back now to camp office, which of course was the plan at the end of the last video. We're actually going to do it this time. Let's wiggle through all this rubbish. Find our way to the door. And obviously we've reduced the wolf population by 1. They respawn periodically, and I can't remember when they respawn. I don't think you need to shut that gate, by the way, but I just tend to do it. I don't know whether the game's AI is clever enough to put wolves in there if you leave the gate open, but I tend to make sure I shut the gate. So that when I next go there, hopefully there won't be any wolves hanging around. I'm going to grab these reishi mushrooms as well. It's going to slightly tip me over the encumberment thing, I think, very slightly. Oh, we might just get away with it. Oh, we have. Cool. Okay, so, wait a minute. Hang on. Is that another wolf down there? Is it a rock? It's a rock. That's fine then. Thought we've only brought 1 wolf down, we haven't brought 2 down. Okay, so, this is the way we need to go to head to the cave. So we're going to head off to the left here. I did say I was going to show you how to get to the cave. If you're unfamiliar with the game and you're not sure where things are, this is how you do it. So we're going to come around to the left. And we're going to keep going around to the left. And that takes us through that little passageway. Just keep an eye down there in case there's anything nasty lurking. And through that little gap up ahead of us, pretty much drops us straight in. Keep our eyes open in case anything is lurking. Now this area is usually fairly safe, however, you do sometimes get wolves around here and you do sometimes get the bear around here. There's a hunting stand in the middle of this area. You'll see when we pop over this hill. We've got some trees here. Pop round this corner. There's a hunting stand in the middle of this, all hiding behind the trees. There it is. And you get deer around here. This is where I found the deer there it is, in fact, the deer that I harvested. Let's actually head down to the hunting stand before we go anything else. This is where you'll find branches, you'll find twigs, sticks, things like that, which actually I could do with grabbing a few. Oh, that did tip me over the edge. Simply because I used a few when I made my fire at the far end. I don't have much firewood left. I did actually go and grab a little bit more firewood. I'm going to grab these rose hips as well. I want to make rose hip tea and reishi tea. Not because I need them for the medical properties, but because I'm going to need them for food. Oh, I've got an MRE, awesome. There's a ripped open MRE there, a rifle cartridge. Anything in the first aid kit? Another bandage. We've already got about 100 of those. And some debris. There's some rabbits around here as well. Obviously that's a limb that we could harvest for firewood. In fact, there's a few of them lying around. If I had the carrying capacity, which I don't. Grab these rose hips as well. Hopefully this won't push us too far over the encumberment limit. We might be able to eat and drink our way out of that anyway. And up ahead of us here is the cave. So this is known as Alan's Cave. As you can see, it's got a tree in it. It's not an indoor location, this. It is an outdoor location. Is this where they've renamed it and it's no longer called Alan's Cave and I'm going to look like a complete idiot? No, it is still called Alan's Cave. I honestly don't know why it's called Alan's Cave. There's nothing in it. I'm pretty sure that you did used to find a corpse in here, which I assumed was always Alan, but these days it's completely empty. It's not an indoor location, but it is sheltered. So you can generally put if you put a campfire in here, you're generally fairly safe. as animals won't generally come past, the wolves and things won't come past the campfire, so you're generally fairly safe if you put a fire in there. But that's Alan's Cave, so there you know where it is. It is a starting location as well, so that's one of the places where you can actually start the game from, when you come into the game world and you spawn at the beginning of your playthrough. That could be one of the places where you can end up, is Alan's Cave. I haven't actually got very much water left. Let's drink the soda that I'm carrying. The one slight concern I've got is I don't think I've actually got any food stashed in Camp Office, which would suggest that this is all the food I have, is what I'm carrying, which is a little bit worrying. I've got those bits of wolf meat, so that should keep us going for a while, but I'm a little anxious. Obviously we've got some rabbits around here. I put one snare down, so I'm now just going to check that snare, which is behind this tree, if I remember where I put it, which hopefully has caught a rabbit. Where did I put it? I can't remember where I put it. It's behind one of these trees. There it is. Oh, okay, so it's broken. It's a ruined snare now, but it didn't catch anything, so that was a complete waste of time. It's annoying. That's one of the downsides of snares. Is sometimes they just ruin without any reason. There's a mountaineering rope there. I've never noticed that before. In fact, there's a couple of mountaineering ropes. Where do they go? Ooh. Okay. I've never noticed those before. I'm very intrigued by those mountaineering ropes. So we'll have to return and use said mountaineering ropes and see where we're going. But we're a bit encumbered at the minute and we're a bit fatigued, so I'm not going to do it now. But that could be quite interesting to see where we wind up. Okay, so it was a good sign. We've got a deer standing here. Suggests there's probably no wolves immediately on the exit of this. Again, you get wolves down here, so you need to be a bit careful. You can see where we are. We're coming onto the lake. And we've got the fishing huts over in front of us. It's the southern access to the river. And if we turn around to the right here, Camp Office is straight in front, just round this edge. So you can see where we came from there. If you want to head to the cave and head round to the dam that way. So I could do with making some more snares, but I need gut to be able to do that. Obviously that's all over on the other side. I could do with making a little clutch of maybe 4 snares. Because that would obviously give us rabbit meat, but it would also give us the rabbit pelts, and we can use that to make gloves. And I think you can now use them to make a hat as well, actually. I think there's more uses for them. I'm going to grab these cattails because we are very short of food and anything is better than nothing. Food is one of the difficult things in the Long Dark. It's the hardest thing that you need to kind of manage. Once you've got a rifle, it's less of a problem because you can go hunting and it's less of an issue. But at this point in the game where we haven't got one, we have got a revolver, but we're not going to be able to hunt with that. It's more of a defensive weapon. We might be able to bring animals down with it, but it's not really intended for that. Okay, so we're back at Camp Office then. So once we get inside, we're going to sort through some stuff and things and decide what we're going to do next. I mean, in theory, we need to head back again to the dam. But I'm going to try and do it via derailment and see if we can harvest that deer. To the point where I might actually leave that deer in the... head round to the logging camp. If I can grab both of those deer, the one by derailment and the one by the loading area, if we can then get across to the logging camp with both of those, that's our indoor location, we can leave those in. So we've kind of got deer hides and guts scattered all over the place. Ultimately, we need to get them all back here. But okay, so what are we carrying then? Let's see what we've got, what we can go and get rid of. So we don't really have any tools or such things. We've got some reishi mushrooms and we've got some rose hips, which we can, of course, turn into prepared stuff. So let's prepare those rose hips. And we'll prepare those reishi mushrooms. In fact, we can prepare quite a lot of those. It's about to go dark as well, so this could be quite interesting. Can we keep preparing? Yes, we've got one more. Okay, so we've got some prepared reishi mushrooms and we have some prepared rose hips. What I'm going to do, I'm now going to just pop excess stuff in this drawer. In fact, there's more rose hips in here. Might even give us eventually enough. If I drop that last reishi mushroom, and we got some old man's beard, I'm going to drop that in there as well because that's done enough to do anything useful with. Our snare is ruined. I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna can I harvest anything from that? Can I harvest anything from that snare? That's a good question. Just reclaimed wood. We're not that desperate for reclaimed wood. Drop it into that drawer. We've got some broken arrows. I'm going to drop those into the drawer as well. We need to repair those before we can do anything with them. Anything else that can go in this drawer? We've got another hook. So we've now got 2 hooks, 2 lines. That means we can go and do some fishing, which is probably going to be our only real source of food. Did I not end up bringing a spare storm lantern back? Oh, I did. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Well, we're going to drop that storm lantern. We might as well drop the lowest. Oh, I'm carrying 3 storm lanterns. Okay. As I was carrying 3. Let's get rid of those 2 then. Plenty of spare storm lanterns here. We're actually going to start stacking them up over this side. And I think I'm carrying some spare lantern fuel. Not a lot. We might as well put that up here as well. In fact, I'm going to move that storm lantern so it lines up with the others. Anything else we're carrying that we can ditch? Another rifle. How many can openers have I got? It's ridiculous. I'll put those upstairs. So we've got another recycled can. We might as well drop that. Again, I'm gathering a little collection of these over here. I always seem to do this. Every playthrough I do, I end up with a collection of them. Let's get rid of another rifle cartridge. And let's get rid of that cleaning kit. For we do not need further ones of those. So we've actually got plenty of ammunition. And we've actually got spare cooking pots now as well. We actually have another cooking pot. Which is useful because they don't last forever. I think they do wear out eventually. So we've got a spare cooking pot there. And we've got 2 spare cans. We might as well leave them down here. Let's just drop these spare can openers. I always like to gather every bit of kit that I can so that we've got a nice little store going on. Okay, so that's nice and straightforward. Food-wise, we have these 2 left, which we're going to get rid of. We're running out of water. We're going to get some more. No spare clothing. We have no spare medical stuff apart, obviously, from those. And we've got quite a lot of cattails. I'm going to drop some of those upstairs, I think. We've got plenty of those.
If the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
And I actually have a spare fire striker, which I didn't realise. So again, we're going to put that upstairs. So it's starting to go dark, so let's head up. We'll just finish off our last little bit of housekeeping before we lose the light entirely. We're just going to drop one of those fire strikers. So we don't really need to be carrying 2 around. There's already one of them here. And we're going to drop some cattail heads as well. We didn't be carrying quite that many. And if I drop 7 on them, I'll leave it with 6. We've got some reclaimed wood, we've got some sticks, and we've got fast strikes, we've got matches. We've got plenty of accelerants as well, I've just realised. Let's get rid of some of that. I've been carrying quite so much accelerant. I always try and keep, if I've got accelerant going, I'll always try and keep 1 spare, but I can actually store the bulk of this downstairs rather than up here, but never mind. Cool, so we're housekeeping all sorted. So what I'm going to do now then, we'll sleep through the night, through to the following morning. We'll get ourselves ready to roll, and I'll probably make a little bit more water because I'm starting to run a little bit low. And then we'll see where we can head out to tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's following morning, and it's looking very bright and very clear out there, so I kind of want to take advantage of that. We have food, we have some water. We're getting a little bit low. I'm going to grab some more water. I think I should give us... I keep clicking the wrong one there. 2.3 litres, that should be fine. Fire starting material I'm a little short of, but we should be able to grab some on the way, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to head down towards derailment. We're going to see if we can grab that deer hide that's there, and then we're going to carry on down towards the logging camp, see if we can grab the other one, and then try and get into the logging camp. That's the plan. -8, it's actually not that bad. Okay, so let's get ourselves moving then. Early morning. I didn't do my little fire and my little coffee trick, which I probably should have done, but I kind of just wanted to get moving. In the early morning light, because it's nice and clear, and we've kind of got quite a lot that I'm trying to do in this this little bit. I'll try and make my way. Kind of done that the hard way. Try and make my way over towards derailment. So obviously we've got to watch out. Wolves tend to roam this bit, but we do now have the revolver, and we know that we can hit with it, so hopefully we can pull that one off again. It's a powerful short-range weapon. If they get fairly close, we've got something now that we know we can hit with. But I am hoping that we should be in the clear. We probably won't be, but we'll see how it pans out. In fact, I can already see a wolf. I'm almost tempted to kind of just go for it, you know. It's almost just kind of go deliberate. Oh, okay, that complicates it a little bit. Okay, well the first one's clocked us, so we've not really got much choice now. Okay, that was a hit, I think. Now we've got the other one coming in. In fact, I scared them both. I don't think I actually hit either of them. No, I didn't hit. But I scared. Okay, well the revolver is worth its weight just simply for scaring things more than anything else. If we know it's pretty much going to work. Okay, so we're at derailment. And the only problem is, one of those wolves kind of went this way and I don't know where it went. Oh, we've got a hunting knife. I knew there was a reason why I came here. So obviously I haven't managed to stop here so far. I've had to just run past it every time. So I knew there's a reason I came here. Hunting knife, I think, should allow us to harvest this a little bit quicker. There we go. So we're going to harvest this deer hide and gut. And now we're going to get ourselves moving. Probably need to be gathering feathers as well, actually, because we've got the materials in those birch saplings that we found to make some arrows. I'll probably do with gathering the feathers at some point. We'll be able to do that, although at the moment we don't have a bow to fire them with. Let's gather some sticks as well. We've got a headwind to contend with now, just to add to our troubles. Just going to gather a few sticks because I'm not overburdened with firewood. I've got a bit, but every little helps, as they say. Okay, so we're going to keep heading towards that rail locomotive. I don't know how I'm doing weight-wise. How much are these? How much do these weigh? Half a kilo. Okay, so we should be alright then to get the other one. I'm not harvesting the meat. I probably should be, really, but I haven't been harvesting the meat. I'm more interested in the hides, to be honest. Am I still carrying deer meat with me? Wolf meat with me? Or have I eaten it? Ah, okay. Let's just eat that bit of wolf meat then. Okay, that's pushing our... That's got us to 24%, so I probably shouldn't really eat any more wolf meat, but we haven't brought another wolf down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm kind of heading now... I mean, I am at hypothermia. I'm actually... Part of me is kind of wondering whether it's worth heading to logging camp, dropping this one off and then coming back for the other one. I think that might not be a bad idea, actually, just purely because of the hypothermia risk. More than anything else. So let's head this way then, and we'll cut the corner off and head over to the logging camp. So we're going to lay this one down in logging camp, and then we'll kind of warm ourselves back up again, get ourselves settled, and then I think I'm going to have a go at getting up to the old forestry lookout just to see if there's anything up there, because obviously we were kind of hopeful. Oh, do you know what? I did this last time. I came over that ridge and then realised there's nowhere for me to go on the other side. It kind of leads to a steep drop. So it's not really a shortcut as such. It's a little bit of a shortcut, but not massive. Okay, let's be a bit careful, because wolves and indeed bears do wander around this area. The bear you tend to find more that way, towards Clear Cut and the old logging camp. We will keep our eyes peeled as we head towards the camp. The old forestry lookout, rather, not the old logging camp. Okay, so we get ourselves inside one of these trailers. Not really bothered which one. Go with the nearest. That'll do. Okay, cool. So, hopefully this one's got a bed in it. I think they all have. Yes, so we can make use of that. Right, cool. So, let's get this deer hide and gut down on the ground. So again, that same tactic. They will start to cure as soon as they're in an indoor location. If they're in your inventory, they won't cure. They have to be laid out in an indoor location. They don't have to be neatly laid out like I'm doing them. You can just drop on the floor and they'll start to cure. But there we go. So they're curing away. So we've now got curing hides dotted all over the place. Most of them are at the dam. We've got these couple here. So we'll just leave them here while we go and do any other stuff. Need to get ourselves warmed up. We're warming up quite quickly in here, actually. It's nice and warm. So hopefully that will sort that problem out. It's 10 degrees in here. It's actually quite good. Fatigue and everything else wise, we're actually alright. The only thing is, of course, we are a little bit cold. So let us cheat. That's not cheating, really. It's just accelerating the process. There we go. In fact, I did not mean to do that. Let's put that away. I don't want to waste ammunition by doing that. I should actually have slept for... Ooh, that woke me up. I actually made myself jump by doing that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so what that's done is that's also boosted our... got rid of our hypothermia risk, boosted our temperature all the way to the top. And it's also recovered a little bit of our fatigue, which is always a bonus. And I'm going to eat one of my cattail stalks. And I'm going to drink as well, so that we're nice and hydrated. So the next thing what we are going to do is head up to the old lookout, but that is going to be in the next video. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. One thing I haven't done for a while, which I'm going to do before we end, is have a quick look in the journal. Now, I did start off with the good intentions of writing the logs and writing notes and doing all that good stuff, but I just kind of haven't done it. It's kind of a cool and interesting thing, and I really should do it, because then you can save it and look back at it later, but I just haven't been bothering. But we are 8 days, we are on day 8 of our trip into the long dark. So when you sit down and think about it, we're 8 days in. We've done a lot in 8 days. We really have. We have been to pretty much every location on Mystery Lake. We've got a lot of stuff stashed, we've got a lot of tools, we've got a lot of kit, we've got good clothing, we've explored a lot. We're actually doing pretty well, given just that we haven't been in this for very long. We've found 2 notes, we haven't found any cans yet. Oh dear. Oh, we've developed the affliction. We have developed the affliction. Oh dear. Multiple daily... oh no. We continue to wait until it run its full course. So we need to be taking 1 dose. And we need to do 10 doses. Oh no. Okay, that's awkward. That's awkward. I thought I'd possibly pushed that a little bit too far. Let's... well, we'll take today's dose. But we've got to wait until tomorrow before we can take another dose. So that's going to affect our condition. So we've got to be very, very, very careful now. I did not realize, to be honest with you, I've never had intestinal parasites, so I had no idea what was involved. I pushed it a little bit too far, I think. I had a little bit too much. Basically, by the looks of it, it's just going to reduce our fatigue. That's the one that's got the exclamation mark against it. So I assume our conditions gradually going to drop and we're going to lose some rest. So we're going to have to be a little bit more cautious. So maybe we're not going to go up to the lookout. But we'll have a think about it and see what we feel we can safely do. But as always, thank you so much for joining me on day... well, are we on day 8 or are we on day 9? I think we're actually on day 9 of our trip into the long dark. Well, apparently we're on day 6. It's even more complicated. Nothing seems to marry up. So 8 days into our trip into the long dark, we unfortunately have a bit of an affliction, so we're just going to have to try and manage that for the next 10 days. So as we head from day 8 to day 18, we're going to have to keep an eye on what we're doing. But thank you for joining me as always. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Any questions, any comments, any queries, please do drop them into the comment section below. I will always try my best to help you out as best I can, to new players particularly. And remember to check out the 2 playlists on screen as well for the Wintermeat playthrough and also for the rest of this one if you're coming through halfway. And as always, I shall see you again very, very soon.